Hello, our lady friends, Mrs. Carrots here. I hope you are all having an absolutely wonderful summer. I hope that you are relaxing and getting outside, enjoying the beautiful weather before it starts to rain again. And I just wanted to share one of my favorite things to do in the summer, which is honestly to sit on the hammock and read a book and just get lost in that world. So I wanted to take a minute to share with you one of my favorite stories. And those of you that have had me as a teacher will understand why this story speaks so much to me personally. So I'm going to read to you guys Not Norman, a Goldfish Story, written by Kelly Bennett, and the illustrations are completed by Noah Jones. When I got Norman, I didn't want to keep him. I wanted a different kind of pet, not Norman. I wanted a pet who could run and catch, or one who could climb trees and chase strings. A soft, furry pet to sleep on my bed at night, not Norman. All Norman does is swim around and around and around and around and around and around and around. This is it, Norman, I decided. I'm trading you in for a good pet. Norman doesn't move. Not even a fin twitches. How can I trade him like this? No one will want a sorry-looking fish in a gunky bowl. Yuck. When I drop Norman into his nice, clean bowl, he starts dipping and flipping, flapping his fins around. He looks so goofy, I have to laugh. Don't think that just because you made me laugh, I'm going to keep you, I tell him. Tomorrow, you're out of here. Norman blows a stream of bubbles. So cute. The next day, I take Norman to school with me. If I talk him up real good during show and tell, maybe someone will want him. On my way there, I see my friend Austin. Austin has a cool dog and 7 puppies. Hey, you want to swap me one of those pups for Norman? I asked. Who's Norman? Austin asked. My goldfish, I say. By the time I rescue Norman, half of his water is gone. Poor fish. I'm sorry, I tell Norman when we get to school. I'm really sorry. He just stares at me all gooey-eyed. Now, side note, never fill up your fish tank or your fish bowl with regular water. You have to put something in it to make it safe for the fish. Back to the story. Finally, it's my turn to show and tell. Just as I start to talk about goldfish, Emily shouts, "Jenny's gone! Who let my snake loose?" Ugh, gross. Does anyone hear the story of how I got Norman? Does anyone even ask to hold his bowl? No! They are all jumping and screaming and chasing the snake. Not Norman. He's looking right at me. Thanks for listening, I tell him. That afternoon, we go to my music lesson. As soon as it's over, I'm taking Norman back to the pet store. I take out my tuba and began to play. Boom, boom, ba, ba, boo, ba, bee. I glance over at Norman. He's swaying back and forth. Gluck, 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 he mouths. Look, Norman's singing, I say. Pay attention, snaps Maestro, and try to play the proper notes. Maestro makes me stay for extra practice. By the time my lesson is over, it's too late to go to the pet store. Don't think that just because you like my music, I'm going to keep you, I tell Norman. He glogs. That night, I'm sound asleep when screech, screech. What's the noise? Scratch, screech, screech. Yikes, there's something at the window. Then out of the corner of my eye, I spot What do you guys think before I turn it? Norman! He isn't scared. He isn't swimming around in circles either. He glugs and gives me a little wave. I am not alone. Together, Norman and I slide open the curtains. It was just a broken tree branch. Thanks for watching out with me, Norman. On Saturday, I take Norman to the pet store just like I said I would. I look at the cats and dogs and snakes and birds. I look at the hamsters and mice and lizards too. They all look like good pets, but they are not Norman. When I got Norman, I wasn't sure I wanted to keep him. But now, if I ever could pick any pet in the whole world, I wouldn't trade him. Not Norman. So, for those of you who don't know, my dad owns a pet store. So for me, having a pet has just always been a part of my life. I truly can't imagine a time when I did not have a fish or a dog or some wacky bird that he brought home from the store. So I wanted to share this story with you, and I hope that maybe it encourages some of you to maybe ask for a pet and to take the time over the summer to learn the responsibilities that it takes. Every animal has a special quality, and you just have to grow to love that quality. So make sure you think of that before you pick out what you want. Again, I hope you guys have an amazing summer. I can't wait to see all of you again.